Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to everybody, and welcome to Cub Chat Live. We are so excited to have on two very special guests today. And I want to point out that Rusty Douglas and Scouter Craig have already done something very important. And Steve, they've commented. And by doing that, guess what, guys? You guys have already been entered to win a prize. We have three $100 gift cards to give away here over the next 30 minutes. We're going to tell you more about those. Those gift cards can be used at a lot of places: Amazon, Lego, Best Buy. I use all three of those places all the time. We've got a lot to talk about today, guys. It's popcorn season, okay? And we are joined by our good friends and proud partners from Trails End. Trails End is an authorized, licensed Scouting America popcorn reseller. And it's about that time of the year where Cub Scout packs are going to be firing up their fundraising program. Joining us today is Carly. She is the popcorn leader for Pack
Hello.
313 in the Greater Tampa Bay Area Council. Carly, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. She is going to talk about how she and her Scout families, they shattered the all-time popcorn selling record last year, $313,000.
That's right.
Carly is going to share her secrets. We all know that selling popcorn, it's not only healthy for your pack's finances, it's healthy for your pack's development and the
Mhm.
process of selling popcorn and how that can benefit young people. Carly, I got a lot of questions for you, Carly. We're going to get to that. We're also joined by Becky. Becky is kind of a great little crossover here. Becky works for Trails End, but she volunteers for the California Inland Empire Council in SoCal. Becky, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
How are you doing today?
thank you. I know California Inland Empire Council is a mouthful.
I didn't say it right. I apologize for that.
Okay.
The California Inland Empire Council is in the house. Thank you for joining. Becky oversees a program called the Storefronts Program. We're going to talk about that. The Unit Support Program. We're going to talk about that. She wears many, many hats in scouting. She actually led Pack 2. Is it 2017? Is that right?
2017.
2017, they sold $190,000 worth of popcorn. That's not quite as good as Becky, but we're not keeping score here. That's fine. I think the most important thing today, not the most important thing, one of the most important things is that we have prizes to give away. Those of you who have commented have already been entered for a chance to win. I want to just point out another way you can win is by tagging a friend in the comments. If you know somebody who you think should be watching this show, tag them in the comments. Not only will you be letting them know about this discussion that we're about to have, you'll also be entering for yourself a chance to win and maybe giving them a chance to win. I want to shout out to Rusty, who commented 2 minutes before we went live. Thank you, Rusty. Hope things are doing well for you in New Philadelphia, Ohio. Shout out to Doug, who's with Pack 3310 and Troop 7310G. What's up, Scouter Craig from Kent, Ohio? Steve, good to see you from Medina, Ohio. Always good to see our friend Wendy in Elgin, Illinois. We got Rebecca in Pierre, South Dakota. We got people from all over, guys. Autumn's coming to us from Flomaton, Alabama. I hope I said that right. Tina in McDermott, a lot of Ohio people. Thank you guys for tuning in. My good friend Rob from right down the street in Prosper, Texas. Rob has tagged one, two, three, four, like six people. Rob has tagged in the comments. Great. Hope they all join the show. They can enter to one as well. What's up, Nicole Christensen? Martha, good to see you. Looking to learn more about popcorn sales. You have come to the right spot. I've already talked too much, guys, because I'm not the most important portion of the show today. Carly and Becky are the most important people today. Carly, let's start off by telling us a little bit about your pack and your experience. You guys went through a hurricane recently, I believe. Can you just tell us a little bit about that and how you guys have persevered?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually went through two back-to-back hurricanes. We had them 2 weeks apart, Milton and Helene, and we actually had 8 of our scouting families' homes get flooded and destroyed during this. So this was it really affected our group. I think what we did is we just really kind of banded together and tried to pull together and find ways that we could be effective and helpful throughout this. The first thing we did is we went out and got, I think it was 3 carloads worth of supplies, and we had the kids put together hurricane relief care packages. So that was a really fun activity and got the kids involved and got them doing something kind of effective about it all. And then after that, we spent the next 2 meetings going out and cleaning up the neighborhood, cleaning up debris, going to a park and cleaning up. And again, I think that put the kids in a kind of a a point of being able to fix something rather than just watching the devastation. And then the other thing we did is we continued to sell throughout this entire time, believe it or not. So we just split our time between volunteering and selling. We had families selling in the morning and cleaning up flooded houses in the afternoon. And we ended up banking about, I think we did about 1,200 hours of volunteer work during that period. So it was a pretty wild couple weeks.
Yeah, I bet it was. Well, community support service, that's all a part of scouting, and Cub
Absolutely.
Scouts can do their part. I love the fact that, you guys were able to assist your community in a safe way. Hurricanes are
Mhm.
dangerous, and sometimes after the storms, that's a dangerous time. You guys did it the right way. Very, very
Yep.
cool. Very inspiring and great to see that. So, yeah, let's talk about the popcorn then. I've got my notes say that your pack earned 124,560. I used to be a Cub master back in the day. I don't think our budget barely got above like 5 digits. I see 6 digits there, I think. So the notes I have says your scouts averaged about $4,000 each in sales.
Yeah.
So that means that they were all engaged. They were all involved, right? Maybe you could tell us about that a little bit. Is that due to your magic? How do you create that kind of culture where everybody's invested like that?
I definitely can't take credit for that fully. We do run a program. We make it fun. We create a great incentive program for the parents to really get on board with, and we just make it fun. We give the purpose behind it. I did have some points I was going to share with everyone that I can get into later, but yeah, I would just say we have a great group of parents. We really push for parent buy-in by getting them to find ways they can participate, and we're just lucky to have the group we have assembled.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And
I
we had
encourage you.
100% participation.
Yeah, yeah. Check out the numbers that are on the screen right next to us there. $211 per hour. That seems pretty good. I think anybody who had a job that paid like that would probably feel okay about it. So
Yeah.
that's very, very impressive. Yeah, I was a Cub Master some time ago, and I will just confess to the world right now. I remember my very, very first parent meeting when I made a huge mistake. Becky, I announced that we weren't going to do popcorn sales because everybody was kind of annoyed by it, and we don't need to worry about that, and we'll just collect money, let people write checks. And boy, was I corrected quickly by our returning volunteers who knew better, who knew about, again, not only the financial benefits of selling popcorn, but also how we teach lessons like work ethic, right,
Mhm.
and salesmanship, and how to go out and talk to strangers, how to be polite, how to handle when people say no, right? Is that your experience
Yeah.
too, Becky? I'm sorry, Carly. Sorry, I said
Oh,
the wrong name.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Honestly, a huge part of this fundraiser is getting the kids out there and getting them to learn those values. I think that they come out stronger, and every year they're walking away with something that they're going to use probably every day for the rest of their lives.
right. Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of people making comments. You guys must want to win these $100 gift cards. We're just a couple of minutes away from giving away our first card. So good job, Jeremy, Susan, Jennifer. Jennifer's from Carlton, Michigan. Rusty says it's rainy where he is. We got David from Rochester, New York. My wife has family in Rochester, New York. I hope things are going well there. What's up, Elizabeth, Jacob, Steve? So good to see all of you. Martha, Daryl, Janelle, Susan, Jess, Carlene, all you folks have been entered to win a $100 gift card. And Becky is going to talk about that a little bit here in just a second. Carly, I do want to learn more about your pack and what you guys did. But I want to talk to Becky real quick if I could. Tell us about your role with Trails End, and then also your role with the council there. You showed us earlier you had quite a few patches there. I get the feeling you
You
wear a few hats.
I do. I do. So yeah, I have been a volunteer here locally in the California Inland Empire Council for the last 14 years. I have 4 kids, and I've been along the ride with all of them. And as you said, I have worn many, many hats over the years. Sometimes I wear many of them at the same time, but the area that I have really had a profound impact in Scouting America has been through fundraising. So much so that 6 years ago, I started partnering with Trails In and really working with them to identify the hurdles, everything that makes fundraising hard, and coming up with solutions to make it easier and quicker, more successful for everyone. Because nobody signed up for scouting to do fundraising. Everybody has other things that they would rather be doing. So we we work really hard to identify any issues and come up with solutions for those issues.
Awesome, awesome. We're going to find out more about that here over the next 20 minutes, but if you guys are okay with it, I'm going to program our random comment picker to pick a name. It is time to give away our first $100 gift card. Becky, can you tell us a little bit about these gift cards and how they work and where they can be used?
Yeah, so actually, the cool thing about these gift cards are these are the same gift cards that are available in the Trails and Rewards program. This program has been around for several years, but we gave it some enhancements this year. Historically, it has only been Amazon gift cards that are available. And while Amazon is super cool and has a lot of different options, and it's not going anywhere, by the way, we still have Amazon as an option. We recognize that scouts have all kinds of different interests, and maybe what they're working for can't be found on Amazon. So we have major retailers like Walmart, Target. You mentioned we've got Lego, and we even have a MasterCard gift card. So really anything that scouts are trying to work towards, they're able to purchase it. And one really cool thing about adding new options is that you're not limited to just one. So maybe Johnny is working really, really hard and he wants to buy some big, massive Lego set with his rewards. But maybe mom and dad want him to be more practical and get a tent or maybe some camping supplies. He can actually do both. So he could spend part of his rewards in one area and part in another. So it makes it a really good option to keep everybody happy. So
Awesome.
scouts, yeah, they earn points for these as they are fundraising. We'll have different little promos and stuff where they can earn extra points, but it's a great, great program.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yet another advantage to selling Trails in popcorn. I am going to use our super advanced program picker to pick our first winner. Congratulations to Carlene Torrance from Pack 97. Carlene, you are the first winner of there's Carlene right there. Congratulations, Carlene. You have won a $100 gift card. Check your Facebook messages. You will soon be getting a message from behind the scenes Brian, who will give you the details on how you can collect that card. To be clear, these are cards that can be earned by scouts, won by scouts who sell a lot of popcorn. We're giving them away. Trails In is so nice to give us 3 to give away today. It doesn't matter if your pack sells Trails In popcorn or not. There are some councils that use different popcorn services. Doesn't matter. For this show, if you enter, you have a chance to win. And Carlene has just won herself a $100 gift card. We have 2 more cards to give away. I want to find a comment real quick here from my friend Rob, who says, I never had to pay for my son's scouting due to his popcorn sales. Yeah, that is possible. The world is expensive, guys. It's a lot more expensive than it was when I was a kid, when I was a scout age kid. Parents these days have a lot more to worry about. God bless them. And popcorn sales, I mean, just imagine not having to pay for scouting. Just get that off your worry list. Carly, I want to go back to you real quick in that graphic, and if I could throw Brian behind the scenes, Brian again, if you could throw up that graphic that we have for Carly. One of the stats on the graphic talks about storefronts. Carly, 20 scouts, 151 hours, $300 plus per hour at storefronts. 4 scouts actually earned $500 plus dollars per hour at storefront sales. All storefront shifts were 1 scout and a
Mhm.
parent. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
How? What's the secret there?
It really just makes sense to do it that way. I think, when the kids are on their path to earn the rewards and they're on their path to make their goals, if they're doing a split shift and there's another scout there, it takes them twice as long to get there. I also find that I think the kids get a little bit more focused and they're able to really work on the task at hand when they're on their own.
Yep.
So we just make it fun and they do it, and it's been very successful for us.
That's a great point. Again, my day as a scoutmaster, Cub Scouts can be rowdy, and they all get along well and they all like each other, which is great until you're trying to get them to focus on something. So yeah, that's excellent advice. Appreciate that very much. Becky, let's go back to you. Let's talk about Trails In a little more. Can you share some updates on the Trails In programs, the support they provide? If someone is selling Trails In popcorn, what kind of support can they expect from you guys? Technology that it uses, all that stuff like that.
Sure. So the first thing that I think that I would mention is the Trails In app. The Trails In app has been around for a number of years, and it was really a game changer in fundraising. The newest feature that we have this year that we're all excited about is the tap to pay feature. So one key thing in using the app is that Trails In has always processed the credit cards and they have taken care of all of the fees that come along with that. And while that is not changing, we are making it a lot easier to actually complete your transaction. In the past, if you had either a Bluetooth reader or a swiper, those were super cool and helped things go really quickly. But if you didn't have those, you might be sitting there manually entering a credit card number. This tap to pay, 5 to 8 seconds, you are done. Your customer is moving on to the next thing, and your scout is moving on to the next customer. We also have some Facebook groups, which are really great tools. We have groups for both unit leaders and for scouts and parents. So obviously the content is going to be geared towards the audience. Unit leaders are able to go ask any questions that they have, get advice. People like Carly can go on there and share her success. And sometimes something that your neighbor is doing is the next key to success for your unit. So that is a really great tool. We've got a brand new program called Unit Support Plus, and it is really scouters helping scouters. We're working hand in hand with them. Some of these scouters are brand new to the sale. Some of them are more seasoned. But really, from A to Z, anything that falls under the fundraising window, whether it is motivating your families or ordering popcorn or scheduling storefronts, we are there to help you and make sure that you have success every step of the way. Trails and Storefronts is probably the program that is nearest and dearest to my heart. I helped develop this program, and I have been directing it for the past several years. We have grown and grown and grown this program. And something that we have brought this year is a level of sophistication that we didn't have before. We were really, in the beginning days, we were working off of a Google map and the council boundary map and a Google list. And now we're really focusing on the best opportunities, and all of the storefronts that we have scheduled have enough foot traffic for your scouts to sell $300 an hour or more. So the name of the game is really to make things quick and easy for you guys. Definitely last but not least, we have Trails In webinars. Again, we have this program for scouts, and we also have it for unit leaders. So the scout-led webinars focus, they're actually led by our top-selling scout. He shares all of his tips and tricks for success. And then our unit leader webinars are led by unit leaders. Same thing there. We're sharing all the secret sauce, everything that you need to be successful. But the great thing about the webinars is that the staff is going to stay on and answer every single question that comes in. So if you're a brand new unit leader, you've never done this before, and you have 1,000,001 questions, come on over to the webinars and we'll help you out. We'll make sure that you know everything that you need to know.
Nice.
That is awesome. Yeah, we've had a good friend of the show, Tamara, on a few times. She's the National Cub Scouting Chair, and she has talked about the benefits of like the official, not necessarily official, but the Facebook groups where people can go on and talk about Cub Scouting. I'd love to hear that you guys have Facebook groups. That's such a great way to communicate pack leader to pack leader, different parts of the country in ways that wouldn't be possible. The great thing about these Facebook groups is you can count on them, you can trust them to get good information there. These are like-minded folks who are doing the same types of things you do. Can't say that about everywhere on the internet, right? But these are good Facebook groups that we recommend. You mentioned a little bit earlier the rewards program. We're just another few minutes away from giving away our second $100 gift card that can be redeemed. See if I get this right, Becky. Places like Amazon, Target, Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, different places like that. It's the same card that scouts can get when they earn enough points by selling popcorn. We have a lot. I so many comments, guys. I might not get to them all, so I apologize, but I really appreciate all of you guys commenting. Not only are you giving me good content, but you're entering for a chance to win a gift card. A lot of people selling success stories about their popcorn. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Doug from Akron says, shout out to their popcorn colonel. For those of you who don't know, that's usually the volunteer at the pack who is in charge of popcorn. Jeremy says, in 6 years in Cub Scouts, my son never had to pay for pack dues, campouts, and big end-of-the-year trips, all thanks to popcorn sales. That's very, very cool. Let me find a few other ones. Doug says summer camp is a reality due to popcorn. Susan says her son works his butt off. He's usually at about 4,000 to 5,000 K in sales each year. He does storefronts, takes orders, does door to door. This is awesome. So many good folks in the comments. Let me just see here. Scott says they sent his son to 3 high adventure bases and NYLT based on popcorn sales. That is so cool. We are just, like I said, another minute or two away from giving away our second $100 gift card. If you don't win that, you'll have a chance to win one more. But you got to keep watching. You got to watch all the way to the end. Somebody had. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through the comments. They're coming in so fast. I do want to go back to Carly, if I could, real quick, and ask you about. So you guys have earned a lot of money with popcorn sales. What do you do with that money?
I mean, first and foremost, what you mentioned is we make sure that the program is completely free to all of our families. We have about 80 Cubs, so running a program with 80 Cubs does add up. So we fund, of course, the adventures and all the things and the dues and everything, but we make sure that we can fund all of the materials so that every Cub can do every adventure. And that takes a lot of different supplies, from bird houses to soap for whittling to all that kind of stuff. So we're able to get everything we need. Another big thing that we had focused on was we wanted to get them as much hands-on as possible. So I remember one of the adventures required someone to go to a museum, and it had an option where you could also do a virtual tour of a museum, or you could go to one. And it was just nice that we could take them all and take them to a museum, pay for that afternoon, be able to give them that real experience. And I think that they're the better for it.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, what a great lesson to learn, right? Nobody's saying that you don't have to work hard to sell popcorn, but isn't that a great lesson to know that if you do that, you can relieve this huge burden from your family and get to do all this stuff that you get
Yeah.
to do in Cub Scouts? Yeah, look at Michelle. That's great. It builds confidence, helps kids. They take ownership scouting. My experience, Carly, again, back in my day as a Cub Master, some Cub Scouts sort of were almost naturals at it, right? They could go out and sell popcorn to anybody, to a stranger. Other ones were a little bit more shy, maybe a little bit
Mhm.
nervous. Carla, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. How do you talk to those shy kids? What's your advice to them? How do we get them to sell popcorn, be a little more confident, and increase the chances of them making a sale?
You know, what we really do is we don't give them an exact script. We give them a framework that they can use, but we want them to figure out for themselves what makes them have a natural, like what's their natural and genuine way of asking. What we put our focus on is, how do you have a proper conversation? How do you look at a person in the eye? How do you get their attention? How do you get your question across and listen to the person's response? It's all about manners, and we put a big focus on that. But we want it to be genuine and real, and we want the kids to actually walk away having learned how to, communicate, how to have a conversation in a professional manner. And I watched my son go through this the very first time we went out selling, terrified to talk to people.
Yeah.
And now he's an old hand. I mean, he can go get hired at a Fortune 500 company as a salesman. But it's really great to watch that growth in them, and we just let them do it in a natural way.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. It is time to give away our second $100 gift card. Let me just use our super secret magic formula to choose a winner. And that winner is Scott. Congratulations, Scott. You have earned our second $100 gift card that can be used at places like Amazon, Target, Walmart, several other places like that. Best Buy, I think, was one. Apple, Lego. Check your Facebook messages, Scott. You will be getting a note from the man himself behind the scenes, Brian, the real superstar and unsung hero of this show that no one ever sees, but really does all the work. We have just about 6 or so more minutes with our good friends, Carly and Becky. Thanks so much. I can't say this enough. Thanks so much to Trails In Popcorn for partnering with us and giving Scouts this opportunity. It is so exciting, and we're so proud. I've met some of the folks at Trails End a month or so ago, maybe in our office here in North Texas. And man, the enthusiasm for scouting, not just for sales and fundraisings, but for scouting in general was really palpable in that room. Great group of people. I really enjoyed meeting them and getting to know them. And we are thrilled to have them as a Scouting America sponsor. Let's go back to Becky. It is almost popcorn season.
Mhm.
We've got some Cub Scout packs who do this all the time. It might not be that big a deal. We've got a lot of new packs who are just getting started. Maybe they don't know that much about the process. What do they need to know, and what do they need to do as they start to get ready for this?
So the first thing that I would call out is you want to be prepared. You definitely want to reach out to your council, find out what the guidelines are, what the key dates are, find out what the plan is for storefronts. Even if you're not if you're not selling with Trails In or on the storefront program, it's possible that your council might have regulations, or there might be stores that they have that they've coordinated for you. You want to find that out ahead of time so that you don't go and do a bunch of work that isn't really necessary. The second thing to do, it's really quite simple, just form a plan. You need to decide what it is that you are trying to achieve. So establish what your goal is. If you are trying to do anything and you don't know what your end game is, you're probably not going to get very far. So make sure that you have a goal and that goal makes sense. Communicate that goal to everybody in your unit. And I would say the third piece of advice that I have for you is don't try to do it all alone. There's been this preconceived idea for so long that there is one popcorn kernel that does everything. And while you don't have to break up every single task, I would really take a look at the parents in your pack, see what their talents are. Maybe you have a mom that loves to be on Facebook. She would be great at helping to communicate. Or if you have a unit leader that has a big empty garage, maybe they can store your inventory for you. When you are working together with a team of individuals and you guys have, you're working towards a common goal, it is a lot more fun and you're going to get there a whole lot quicker.
Yeah, that is awesome. Rob says in the comments, let me see, so many people commenting, telling stories about, popcorn success stories. And Rob says it's amazing to see those shy, quiet scouts develop their sales skills over the year.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else had another really, really great tip when it comes to shy scouts. Have them go door to door. This is Susan. Have them go door to door with someone that is more outgoing, and have them make a little game of it. Like, we'll see what if I can get a sale, if you can get a sale, things like that. I think that's great. Keep it sort of lighthearted, right? There's no pressure. And hey, people are going to say no, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean you did something wrong, right? There's no shame in that. That's just a part of the process, and that's totally okay. It's a great life lesson. We have just a few more minutes left until we give out our final $100 gift card. You guys are doing great. So many great comments. And again, so many great success stories of people selling popcorn. Michelle says we work as a committee and everyone takes a turn taking the lead. So in terms of popcorn kernel, like you said, Carly, one person doesn't have to do it all by themselves. Amanda says it's their first year with Trails In, and it is time to get fired up. Amanda, it is time to get fired up. I agree. That's so cool. Nick says, shout out to all my fellow Eagle Scouts. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. So many people. TJ, shout out to TJ in Georgia. They say they're happy to use this fundraiser again to help these scouts make more memories. Very, very cool. Boy, a lot of great comments, and I appreciate that. As we wind down our show today, a couple of more questions for you guys. Carly, why did you and your committee choose Trails End as your fundraising partner?
We actually went through a couple of fundraisers before we got to Trails End, and I just honestly found them to be the easiest and the best. They had pretty much addressed every hurdle that we were going to come across and solved it for us. They gave us the storefront program, which is a gift. I mean, it takes a lot of time to set up storefronts. I've done it. And so by having that program available to us, it cuts back our effort on setting it up tremendously. The technology, the app is amazing. The free credit card processing is awesome. The rewards, I know that Becky touched upon that, and so did you. Our scouts in our pack last year earned $28,000 in rewards directly. So the reward program is excellent. And they're just incredibly helpful. Every problem we've run up to, they just help us. So they're the winner for us.
That's awesome. That's very good to hear. Yeah, I think one of the key messages coming out of today's show, again, a lot of you guys may have never sold popcorn before. You're not in this alone. Even if you're the popcorn kernel and you feel like you're in it alone, you are not in this alone. Trails End is there to support you. And once you get the hang of it, once you get it going, it very well could turn into one of those programs that just kind of runs itself. Again, I told the story earlier. I made a huge mistake when I first became Cub Master, and I said, forget about this fundraising stuff. I'm just going to have all the parents write a check. And I was told very quickly by other parents, good for them, because they're right. I was wrong. That's not how to do it. A few years later, I still have a memory of going into our Cub Scout committee chair's living room and it's just filled from floor to ceiling with popcorn. And so it just shows when you have someone involved who's willing to. She had never done it before. I want to make this clear. She had never done it before. She had no experience. We hooked up with Trails End, and it changed our pack. And hey, everybody, Aaron was wrong. Aaron on scouting made a huge mistake by thinking we didn't need to do this. So shout out to Susan, by the way, who succeeded me and made the right mistake. Made the right choice. She did the right thing. We do have one more gift card to give away. Before we go, though, Becky, any final thoughts? Anything else we need to share to the folks watching at home about Trails End?
I would just say that, first of all, I love being a part of Trails End. I think that this is more of a calling than a job. And I am one of many, many people. So when you are making your decisions about what you're going to do for fundraising, I would really encourage you to think about everyone in your unit. I've run across a lot of people that think we don't have a need for fundraising. We pay as we play. And you never know what life-changing situation might be on the heels of one of your scout families. There can be illnesses or job changes or all kinds of things. But aside from the financial benefit, the life lessons that your kids are going to learn by participating in this program and earning their own way in scouting, you really cannot put a price tag on that. So even if you have sold popcorn before and you're like, that's not for me, this is not the same popcorn sale that Aaron was participating in, or that our parents, or even people a few years ago. Yeah. We are always changing things up and finding ways to make fundraising easier and quicker for everybody.
That is awesome. Yeah, I can already tell. Yeah, it's progressed nicely, I'll just say, over the last few years. And it's again, we are thrilled to have Trails End as a partner. Appreciate all those kind words. Carly, any other advice you would give to somebody who is just getting started on this Trails End popcorn fundraising journey?
I know both of you commented on the Facebook page. I wanted to put a little plug. That's actually how I learned to do this. 3 years ago, I took up my first year as a colonel, had no idea what to do, scrolled through that page and found a lot of tips, even how we set up our table. Somebody had posted pictures and I was like, oh, we should do that. Ask questions. You can find like-minded people and get some help. And then use, Trails End is an amazing partner to be working with, and they provide any guidance and help that you need. The only other tip I would say is, I know Becky talked about actually a lot of the things I wanted to mention, she brought up. The other thing I would say is really get parent buy-in. Get parents to understand what it is that you're trying to do. Why are you even doing this? Why are you trying to get people, you don't just want kids out there selling popcorn, but there's a goal behind it and there's a purpose. And if you can get the parents to buy in, I would say that is the kind of secret sauce to a successful fundraiser, is getting the parents on board. And that also helps you build your team, because you get parents all pumped up and excited about what they can do. And that's also how you get your team built.
Yeah, in a way, right? It's kind of like a snowball. Once it starts rolling, once people get involved and you start earning more money, then it starts rolling again and you can do more fun things. That gets people even more excited. Do not be me. Do not be the guy who gets up there and says you don't have to do popcorn. Be Carly. I think that's the lesson from today. Everybody be Carly, not me. It is time to choose our last $100 gift card winner. Before we do that, behind the scenes, Brian, please throw up that link. You just put it up on the screen, info.trailsend.com/get started. There you go. Thank you very much. That's the link. Becky, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the link people should go to get, if they don't know anything about what they're doing and they want to learn more. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Okay. So everybody, if you do not have a previous existing relationship with Trails End, go right there and find out how to get started. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Let me use our random comment picker to choose our final comment winner. And congratulations to Stacy. Stacy, you have won our last gift card. They started selling with Trails End. We upped our sales over $10,000 per year. Again, these numbers, when I see them, we didn't do anything like that when I was a Cub Master, and that's because we didn't handle this the right way. So thank you, Stacy, for watching. Thank you for sharing the comments. Congratulations to all three of our winners today. Again, check your Facebook inboxes for a message from the actual real behind the scenes Brian, who will give you instructions on how you can get that gift card. Becky and Carly, it has been an honor having you on today. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having me.
And again, shout out to our new friends at Trails End. We are so excited to have you guys on board. Hopefully, we'll be doing a lot more of these shows in the future. It is popcorn season, usually right around the corner. Most Cub Scout packs start doing this in the fall. So that's a good time to do it. You don't have to do that, but that usually works out pretty well as you fund your program for the year. Thank you all again for watching at home. Tons and tons of good comments. Our viewers are the best, guys. I hope you guys got a little taste of our viewers because they are awesome. Thank you, Jeremy, Jess, Catherine. Our good friend Tamara says, yay, Stacy. Thank you, Tamara. Always a great supporter. Jennifer, Peter, Erin, E-R-I-N. Thank you. Scott, Jess, Rob, all of you guys. We really do appreciate the comments. Hope you all have a wonderful, relaxing, happy weekend. Start thinking about popcorn sales. Just start thinking about who your colonel is going to be. If you don't know, go to that link, get started. Have a good weekend. Happy Cub Chat Live Day. See you all next time. Bye, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Carly.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to catch next week's episode. Same time, same place. And let us know how we're doing at go.scoutingmagazine.org/rate-cubchat. We love feedback and ideas for new episodes. And you can visit blog.scoutingmagazine.org/cubchatlive for all our past video episodes. You can see us live. Except it's recorded, but it was live. Okay, see you next week.